Welcome to the first video of many with Team Snacc's Year of Mastery 2021 on goal setting. And if you're lucky, a little bit of goal achieving too. As with my other Year of Mastery goals, I will be posting several videos on this topic until the end of the year when we go into maximum overdrive and do a master video on the entire thing. If you're anything like me, you've probably set goals before. You've probably set a lot of goals before. Chances are also pretty good that if you're like me, you've probably failed a lot of those goals before. Well, let's look at the most popular time to set goals. Drunken times right before the end of the calendar year. How am I gonna do it this year, man? I'm gonna make $1 million. I'm gonna lose 50 pounds. I'm gonna get a girlfriend. I'm gonna get a new car. Is this something familiar to anyone? Now, to show you that you guys aren't the only one, I'm going to let you into some of the goals that I've had in the past that I've failed spectacularly for one reason or another. And I'm going to introduce some techniques that you guys can do to actually follow through with some of those goals that you've set. So let's go back to the world of 2017, Jay. My goals were to be enrolled in a local community college by July so that I could finish up the degree from the college that I dropped out at. I wanted to learn calculus by November. I wanted to have some investment. There was no specified amount. It could have been $5, could have been 5 cents, could have been $5,000. I just put some investment by July. Wow. I have 2 decent newish cars in April. I'm eating way healthier in August and working out. No specification on what is eating healthier. There's no how much are you working out? What type of workouts are you doing? It's just working out. Not how often. I'm able to hold a conversation in Spanish by January of 2018. I have a nice wedding ceremony in April 2018. I am married to my spouse, but we have not had a traditional wedding ceremony. We went to a courthouse and got a paper signed for us. But I want to give a nice wedding ceremony for them. That was my goal a few years ago, was to do that. But I had no way of doing that. I had no budget set. I had no extra money that I could actually plan for that. I'm in a house in April 2018. What type of house? How much I was going to spend on that house? Where I was going to buy it? Who knows? I have a personal AI linked to several aspects of my life in 2019. I had some huge Tony Stark Jarvis aspirations back then, and I thought at the very least I could link one of the existing personal AI assistants to my life, program the API, and get it to do several things that I wanted it to do. So I would use, Siri or Google Assistant or something like that. The other goals there were stuff that I wanted for various personal reasons. I felt kind of stupid that I had gotten to some of the advanced math courses in high school, but I kind of coasted through on bad grades. And I don't remember diddly squat from my math courses in high school. So I wanted to get back up there and, make sure I knew what I was talking about or other people were talking about when it came to talking about that stuff. I have almost never liked how my body has looked, so I wanted to improve that. So I thought, hey, maybe if I eat healthier and work out, then it'll get to it. But again, there was no set, how often are you working out? What type of workouts are you doing? Are you following a program or anything like that? What is clean eating? What does that, even mean? Does that mean scrubbing all the potatoes off before you shove them in your gullet? No. I wanted to finish my college degree. I wanted to get some money in investments. I wanted a couple of cars that weren't pieces of crap that we had paid $200 for. There was a lot of reasons I wanted this stuff. Now, it's taken a long time to get where I am, where I can actually break down my goals a little better, add some specificity to them. It's been a long time since 2017, Jay. It's been a long run to get from there to here, where I'm able to break down my goals a little better, add some specificity to them, and be able to actually start following through on them. So what follows, I'm going to give you some techniques that I've used to actually follow through on those goals. Number 1, start with why. Now I know this sounds silly, but the more you're able to break down a goal as to why you want it, the more you're able to break down that why in the goal, the more likely you are to follow through with it. I think a lot of us want a lower body fat percentage, and I think a lot of us want more muscle as well. But why? If we break it down a little bit, if I told myself, well, it's to fit with society standards of what a beautiful person is, I wouldn't have followed that for very long. But for me, there were a lot of personal reasons for it too. My confidence skyrocketed after I started working out, and it wasn't just because I was getting compliments. I felt great about how much work I had put into my body. I felt really proud about it. My body was not perfect. My body is not perfect, but I feel great about it. I've got more muscle. I've got less body fat. I get winded a lot less. So there's a lot to, feel good about. The work that I put into my body was great. Now I continue to work out because I want to be on this earth for a good long while. Who knows what happens to us after we die? And I want to make sure that I'm doing the things that I need to do so that I can stick around for a while. Let's move on to another common one. I want to be rich. Why do I want to be rich? Given the sheer number of people that are funding every single lottery ever, I don't think it's a far sight to say, hey, people want to be rich or they want more money. Which of us doesn't want a nicer car or a nicer house or to be able to actually have a Tupperware collection where the lids actually match the Tupperware that you have? What else could that extra money bring, though? Well, for me, I've been through the experience of being dirt poor. I have had utilities shut off. I have had a notice of eviction served on my door where I had to get the rent money quick or I would be evicted. They would start the eviction proceedings against me. I've had to take out payday loans, and it causes just so much stress. And I'm sure, some of the people who are watching this have felt their stomach kind of knot up at the mention of some of these things. If I made enough during the course of the year that I would be able to take a few weeks off and I wouldn't have to worry about any of, my utilities or what I pay to live in my house or the food that I put on my table, if I didn't have to worry about any of those, all of those stresses disappear. And what a weight off your shoulders that you don't have to worry about those anymore. I don't have to stress about the high cost of a good diet. I don't have to stress about buying new clothes for my kids that are shooting up like healthy bamboo. And what an amazing feeling that would be. And that's why I would like to make more money. That's why I want to be rich. Well, not rich exactly, but I want to make enough money that I don't have to worry about those things. What about helping your family not worry about those things too? And I'm not saying pay for, your son's way all the way through life. I know someone who is like that. They were, in their 50s going on 60 and their parents were still paying their rent and buying them new cars and stuff like that. And that was something they could afford. But that person didn't turn out very good, at least not to me. I don't think you should pay all of someone's expenses their entire life, except for in some extreme circumstances. But imagine they can go through college and get a good head start on life without having to worry about being in thousands of dollars of debt fresh out of college. That would be an amazing feeling. That would be something that is worthy to strive for. Never having to worry about health bills, never having to say oh, I went to the hospital, this is going to bankrupt me. You don't have to worry about that. That is a great feeling. That's a stress off your shoulders. And yes, having a nice car and a nice house are great bonuses too. What are some other goals you have? Why do you want to write a book this year? Is it just the satisfaction of writing a book, or do you actually want to get that book out there and have thousands of people read it? Why do you want to stream games? Is it to get thousands of followers, or do you just enjoy playing that game and you want to share that experience with other people? Do you want the thousands of people who come into your stream every single day, or do you just want those few people who you get to know on a really personal basis and you get really friendly with them? Now, there's no wrong answer here. I can't answer this for you, but you have to know the why of your goals. You have to know why you want to do this. What feelings are you going to get from it? What is your end game with it? Next up, envision yourself achieving this goal. If you want to make a lot of money because you want the nice house and the nice car and the nice clothes and whatever else. Envision yourself as clearly as possible doing those things. So I would really like a Lamborghini. It's a car that I've wanted ever since I was a kid. And one day I will own a Lamborghini. In the meantime, to keep me going, to keep me motivated, every morning when I do my morning ritual, part of that morning ritual is I envision the ideal life that I have. I see a nice house, I see the driveway, I see the garage, and inside that garage is my dream car. I envision myself getting in it. I envision the doors opening up, because that's how the doors on Lamborghinis open up. I envision myself getting in it, starting the engine, feeling the engine power, the power rumbling around me, and feeling the bit of power and how smooth it is as it backs out of the garage. I can clearly see that down to the color of the car. So that's something you need to do too if you want a car this year. What kind of car do you want? The exact make and model and year. What accessories do you want in it? What color is it? What do the interior features look like? Have you added any modifications to it? You need to consider all of these things and then envision yourself driving that car. So I might envision my dream house. I might envision what my life looks like if all the businesses that I want to open are open and thriving. I might envision what I would look like with my ideal body, with my ideal clothes, the fashion that I want. I might envision, what my goals are this month and what it would feel like at the end of the month to achieve those goals. Tip number 3, farm your goals. What do I mean by this? Well, imagine every farm that's ever existed. How many of those farms can take a seed, put it in the ground, and be ready to harvest that crop later that day? I'm pretty sure the answer to that question is ain't diddly. Now, unless your goal is like cleaning the kitchen or washing the dishes or doing the laundry, I'm pretty sure most of your goals are probably going to be longer term goals that you can achieve in a day. If you want to shave 20 pounds, if you want to build muscle, if you want to buy a car. Now, you can probably go and buy a car. If you have the money sitting in the bank, that's fine. But most of those other goals, opening a business or losing weight or picking out a new wardrobe, there's a lot of stuff that has to be done long term. And that stuff isn't all going to be done in a day. Losing 20 pounds of fat is not going to be done in a day. That's something that you have to start. You plant the seed now by starting your diet, by planning your diet and going and buying the stuff that you need and sticking to that. And then a month later, 2 months later, 8 months later, you can reap the harvest, right? The seed planted now will not be harvested now, and that's fine. But we need to actually tend to that seed as well. And we need to do it consistently. Number 4, hang around with the people that you want to emulate. We as humans are very social creatures. We tend to latch onto the traits of the people that we hang around with the most. If you hang around with 4 people who are sad all the time, you're probably going to be the 5th sad person. If you hang around with 4 people who are happy and bubbly all the time, you will probably be the same. If you hang around with 4 gamers all the time, you've probably had some amazing opinions on matriarchs. If you want to get in great shape, go and join a local exercise club. If you want to be a successful entrepreneur, find a local meetup with entrepreneurs, a lot of whom are successful, or find a mastermind group online that you can talk with regularly. Number 5, every action you do is a vote for the type of person that you are. And that's something you need to remember. If you ever feel like, hey, I don't want to work on my goals today, whatever you may say, remember, you could be the type of person that says, hey, I want to get a raise. I really want a raise. Give me a raise. But do you RB guy who do raise stuff? Are you the kind of person who's likely to get a raise? Are your actions congruent with whatever it is that you desire? I've told myself for years, man, I'd love to be the kind of person who has several successful businesses, but that don't mean shit unless I'm actually working on a business. Number 6, learn to love the pursuit of the goal as well as the goal itself. And I think a common stigma when it comes to something like working out is, God, this sucks. My muscles are achy and sore. I'm tired. I'm uncomfortable. This is hard. These are heavy. Man, I do a lot of stupid stuff for this channel. I love it. And I used to think that too when I used to work out. But now I love it. I love pushing heavy things. I love the feeling of accomplishment that comes with every time I go to the gym. I love, looking at pictures of myself from a few years ago and seeing how much progress I've made. I love, sometimes I go to the gym and I'll get this huge endorphin rush and I kind of ride that for a few minutes. Feels great. But it wasn't always that way. A long time ago, I worked at a gym. I was one of the front desk receptionists, and I had free access to the gym. I could have gone in whenever I wanted and not paid membership fees. But I went like once or twice in the entire year that I was employed there. I had a friend that lifted weights all the time, and I joined him once or twice, and I didn't really enjoy it. But now I enjoy working out at the gym. And I can actually get a little irritable if I haven't done it for more than a few days. Number 7, make sure your goals are realistic. This is the attainable portion of SMART goals, which is SMART, measurable, attainable, relative, and timely. That's something that I'm going to cover in a later date, but you just need to make sure that they're realistic. If you set a goal for yourself, hey, I'm going to make $1 million this year, and you're currently making $45,000 a year, how are you going to reach $1 million? Now, I'm not saying it can't be done, but chances are pretty low that you will ever reach that goal. If you can't make $500,000 in a year, if you can't make $100,000 a year, if you can't make $50,000 in a year, and you're currently making $45,000 a year, how realistic is that million? Make sure the goal is realistic. If you hit the goal during the year, you can set a new goal after that. Say, okay, now that I'm making $50,000 a year, how about $60,000? How about $80,000? How about $100,000? And progress up from there. Number 8, try to frame your goal as something that you want instead of something that you don't want. Instead of, I don't want to be out of shape and eat junk food all the time. Try, I want to have a great body and feed my body the nutrition that it needs to thrive. It's a lot easier to give your goals a stinky eye head on instead of being all booster and no rooster. Number 9, realize that you'll probably fail, but that doesn't mean you won't succeed. Jay, that's stupid advice and I hate you. Listen, most advice on the internet is stupid, but you're here listening to me word vomit, so hold up a moment. If you do fail at your goal, what do you think is a better action? Giving up on it forever, or maybe learning from it and then carrying on the course regardless? And unfortunately, so many people are paralyzed by that fear of like, what if I fail? But they don't seem to realize failure in a lot of cases is fine. You will be fine. You will recover from whatever failure. In most cases, that failure isn't permanent. It's something you can recover from. You open a business and it goes bankrupt. Well, guess what? You've learned things that you can use to help avoid failure in the future. If you are learning to try to eat better and you fall off that train and eat a nice greasy burger, well, you can start over the next day and learn to love the clean foods that provide the nutrition that you need. If you fail for a day, that sets you back one day. If you give up on your goal, that sets you back all the way. Did you maybe enter a bodybuilding competition and forgot to build your body? Well, hey, I can't help you there, but at least you're having fun, right? So there you have it. The first of many videos for Team Snacc's Year of Mastery 2021 on goal setting. What are some goals that you've set this year? Are you keeping up with them? How are you doing on those goals? Have you completed those goals? Let me know in the comments down below. That's it for today, and keep aiming to be a snack in every aspect of your life. Bye-bye! Heard you can't drink one of these without burping. A seltzer water's hitting. Oh, yummy, yummy. That was actual brandy. Oh, man.